The world has been witness to an intriguing phenomenon unfolding in the realm of global development finance. Under the resolute leadership of Jean LeCun, the Beijing-based Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, has been steadily weaving a tapestry of cooperation with the very multilateral institutions it was once perceived as a counterweight to. This emerging narrative holds profound implications for how we comprehend China's aspirations on the world stage and the evolving dynamics of international financial diplomacy. The AIIB's origins can be traced back to the tumultuous aftermath of the global financial crisis, a period when the edifice of Western economic hegemony showed fissures, and the clamor for a more equitable distribution of power on the global stage grew louder. China, emboldened by its economic ascendancy and disenchanted with the glacial pace of reforms within the Bretton Woods institutions, took an audacious stride by establishing the AIIB in 2016. At its inception, the AIIB was viewed through the prism of geopolitics, a brazen Beijing power play to undermine the dominance of the World Bank and counterbalance the influence of the United States and its allies in the Asia-Pacific region. Skeptics decried it as a vehicle for China's strategic ambitions, while proponents heralded it as a much-needed catalyst for addressing the gaping infrastructure deficit plaguing the developing world. However, the trajectory of the AIIB has confounded the initial cynicism and revealed a far more nuanced narrative. Under Jean LeCun's pragmatic stewardship, the bank has deftly navigated the treacherous currents of great power rivalries, eschewing the zero-sum mentality that often plagues geopolitical discourse. The recent discussions between the AIIB and the venerable World Bank regarding a second loan guarantee deal are a testament to this evolving dynamic. By enabling the World Bank to stretch its balance sheet further, the AIIB is not merely extending a financial lifeline but also underscoring the imperative of collective action in tackling the myriad challenges confronting the global community. This symbiotic relationship is a departure from the traditional narrative of competition and rivalry that has long characterized the interactions between China and the West. It signals a recognition, on both sides, that the complexities of the 21st century demand a pooling of resources and a collaborative mindset. The implications of this burgeoning partnership reverberate far beyond the realms of finance and economics. It represents a profound shift in the way we conceptualize global governance and the role of emerging powers in shaping the international order. For too long, the discourse surrounding China's rise has been mired in a binary paradigm, one that frames Beijing's ascendance as an existential threat to the liberal democratic order championed by the West. However, the AIIB's willingness to work in concert with established institutions challenges this reductive narrative. Jean LeCun's assertion that the AIIB seeks to emulate the multilateral spirit of the Bretton Woods institutions is a powerful rebuke to those who cast the bank as a mere vehicle for Beijing's geopolitical ambitions. It underscores China's recognition that sustainable development and global stability are contingent upon a rules-based international system, not a descent into anarchic competition. This is not to suggest that the AIIB is devoid of strategic calculations or that its operations are immune to the influence of Beijing. China's voting power within the bank and its ability to shape the leadership transition process cannot be overlooked. However, to reduce the AIIB to a mere appendage of Chinese foreign policy would be a grave oversimplification, one that fails to capture the complexities of the contemporary global order. The AIIB's trajectory also holds profound lessons for the established powers of the West. For decades, they have been the architects and custodians of the international financial architecture, wielding disproportionate influence over the levers of global governance. However, the rise of the AIIB and its growing collaboration with traditional institutions underscore the imperative of adapting to a more pluralistic world order. The historic monopoly on economic and financial diplomacy enjoyed by the West is being steadily eroded, and the response to this shifting landscape will shape the contours of the 21st century. The AIIB's overtures towards cooperation present an opportunity for the West to either double down on insular, zero-sum thinking or to embrace a more inclusive and collaborative approach to global governance. The latter path, while fraught with challenges, holds the promise of revitalizing the multilateral system and imbuing it with renewed legitimacy. By recognizing the aspirations of emerging powers and affording them a commensurate voice in shaping the international order, the West can forge a more durable and equitable framework for addressing the daunting trials that lie ahead. Challenges such as climate change, economic inequality, and global health crises transcend the borders of nation-states and demand a coordinated, multilateral response. The specter of great power rivalry and ideological entrenchment only serves to impede progress on these fronts, rendering us all lesser in the process. The AIIB's expanding partnerships with institutions like the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, and the Inter-American Development Bank offer a glimmer of hope, a recognition that the path forward lies not in the myopic pursuit of narrow self-interest, but in the collective marshalling of resources and expertise. As the world grapples with the aftershocks of the COVID-19 pandemic and the looming existential threat of climate change, the imperative for cooperation has never been more acute. The AIIB's overtures towards collaboration represent a powerful rejoinder to the forces of insularity and unilateralism that have gained traction in recent years. However, this burgeoning partnership must be nurtured and reinforced through sustained commitment and a willingness to compromise on all sides. The AIIB's stated commitment to upholding the multilateral spirit must be matched by a reciprocal openness from the established powers, a recognition that the path to sustainable development and global stability lies in the inclusive distribution of power and influence. The environmental concerns surrounding the AIIB's lending practices, particularly its continued financing of gas-related projects, also warrant scrutiny. Jean LeCun's assertion that the bank will only consider financing gas projects that replace coal-fired power plants is a step in the right direction. However, the AIIB must be held accountable to this pledge and subject to rigorous oversight to ensure its operations align with the imperatives of the climate crisis. Ultimately, the ascendance of the AIIB and its growing cooperation with traditional institutions represent a pivotal juncture in the evolution of the global order. It is a moment laden with both promise and peril, a crossroads at which the world must decide whether to cling to the ossified power dynamics of the past or to embrace a more inclusive and collaborative paradigm. The path forward will not be without its challenges, but the alternative, a descent into zero-sum competition and the erosion of the multilateral system, is a far more perilous prospect. The AIIB's overtures towards cooperation offer a blueprint for navigating the complexities of the 21st century, a recognition that the trials that confront us demand a pooling of resources and a collective commitment to the greater good. As the world grapples with the profound shifts reshaping the global landscape, the AIIB's trajectory serves as a powerful reminder that pragmatism and cooperation can triumph over the forces of division and insularity. It is a narrative that transcends the narrow confines of finance and economics, speaking to the broader imperative of forging a more equitable and sustainable international order. In the annals of history, the AIIB's ascendance may well be remembered as a watershed moment, a pivotal juncture at which the world embraced the virtues of collaboration and collective action over the myopic pursuit of narrow self-interest. It is a narrative that holds the promise of a more prosperous and stable future for all, a testament to the enduring power of pragmatism in the face of ideological entrenchment. As the world grapples with the profound challenges that lie ahead, the AIIB's trajectory serves as a powerful reminder that the path forward lies not in the perpetuation of outdated power dynamics, but in the embrace of a more inclusive and collaborative paradigm. It is a clarion call for the world to shed the shackles of zero-sum thinking and to chart a course towards a more equitable and sustainable global order, one predicated on the principles of mutual understanding, respect, and collective action.